Pups, what's going on? It's great to see you. I've missed you so much. It's been forever, but I'm glad you're back. I have a really awesome video today that's going to help save you a lot of pain and anguish, okay? These crypto markets, believe it or not, there's a lot of upside, but the downside is brutal. It's fucking brutal, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you, okay? I want the best for you. I want you to become extremely wealthy. So watch this video all the way to the end. I'm going to show you 2 videos. I'm going to follow it up with some really quick lessons that you can apply today to give you more insights about how these markets work. All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to come back to this one. I want to show you this one. You guys have heard of this guy, your friend Somi. Really cool guy, hilarious creator. And it's so funny. I was making this video and I was checking Twitter and this popped up and it's perfect. It's so perfect and sad and sad. Very sad. Okay. Let's see if we get the volume. Let's play this.
I actually have a crazy story about AXS, Axi Infinity. Crypto ISO brought Axi Infinity to my attention. It was at like 35 cents. It had just listed on Binance and I fucking shoved. I bought hundreds of thousands of Axi Infinity at 30 cents and change. We rode it to like 60 cents maybe. And I fucking made money. And I was like, holy shit, that was sick. Great move. I made like 100% on Axi Infinity at, 50 cents and change. This is so painful for me to even talk about. This was my retirement bag. I had literally shoved on Axi Infinity at 31 cents. Okay. I had hundreds of thousands of Axi Infinity at 31 cents. I ride this thing up to 81 cents. I make a killing. I'm like, I made so much fucking money. Look how well I did. I made so much money. And then that 6-figure bag becomes a $70 million bag in a year.
Oof. Man, that is... And that happens a lot. It happens a lot more than you guys would realize in crypto, okay? I've definitely sold things where I've sold it and sold things and then like 2 weeks later it 10x's. It's happened, all right? When you're in crypto long enough, it's going to happen. But this is on another level. Now, he says he sold the bag. Now, let's see what he did. I'm going to show you this chart. This is the Axi Infinity chart. I'm going to put it on log really quick to make this a little more easy. So he was buying around here. It just came out of Binance, like he said. Don't we see this all the time? I'll put it on a 12-hour. Hang on one sec. Man, make it... You're right. So some of you guys are on whether that's Solana or Pulse Chain. You see all these new memes, these new tokens, these new projects popping up, and they kind of do this similar thing, right? And you want to get in as quick as you can because there's a lot of easy moves up, and then it consolidates and does kind of what all charts do. All right. So he bought around, he said 30 cents. Okay. So he was getting in here. So it was good. Good for him. He got in. There was a dip. He held through. And then it probably went up here to 84 cents. What did he say? He sold at 70 cents or something like that. So he probably, and then it came back down and he probably was like, okay, I don't want to, after this dip, think about this. After this dip, when he held it almost to what he paid for, I'm assuming maybe he got in here, but let's say he got in here. He watched it go up to 70 cents and then come back to what he paid. Hasn't that happened to you before? All right. And then when it went up again, he went, I don't want to go through that again. And he dumped the whole bag. All right. And then he watched this happen. Then it 10x'd. All right. He probably didn't get back in. He just thought I missed it. And then I'm going to show you guys, look at this unbelievable chart. It went all the way to $174. I'm going to put this off log now so you guys can really see what happened. Oh, and you know what's crazy? I'm going to show this to you once again so you guys can really see it. Good Lord. So remember, he got in at 30 cents. It came up to almost 70 cents. And then he watched it come back down to what he paid for. And then it went up again and he wanted to keep the profits. And we've all had that happen, right? And once again, he watched it go absolutely berserk. Now imagine it went here to $11 and it just came back to $2, to $3. That's still 10x from where he paid for. And then it went on to go up to almost $200. I don't even know how many X's that is. Was it $200? So his bag, I mean, he had $100,000 to start with, so he should have been experienced in crypto if he's playing with that much money. But it goes to show you a really important lesson. It did. Jeez. What is that? Is that a 1500x, 1500x? It went up 150,000%. It went up. Had he held. I did that from 30 cents where he said he had it from. Okay. And it did it quick, guys. So, you guys see these formations all the time. And then the consolidation, and then you're freaking out. You're like, oh, well, that's over now. Now, this was a project that was being utilized. It wasn't just a random meme that people were just dumping off. So people did dump it. They got out. They thought, oh, I'm smart. I sold it $12. And then it went on to do an unbelievable move. And he was heartbroken. Now, what did he do wrong? What did he do right? Well, what he did right was he got in as early as he could. Okay. Let's talk about that really quick. All right. That was a really smart move. He'd been experienced enough in crypto to know, let me try to get in as early as possible. All right. Isn't that where we are now? Anywhere you got in here, imagine like he sold at 90 cents, but let's say you paid 90 cents. Let's say you missed buying it at 20 or 30 cents where your friends bought it. And then you heard about it late and you're like, oh man, I'm late. I missed it. It's at 90 cents now. And then look what happened, right? So you have to understand what early is. Early is getting in when the project is being ignored by most people. People are not paying attention. This does not look like the movements of people paying attention. This is just people accumulating who are like, oh, this is kind of a cool project. I think this might do something. They were interested in the project. Let's see these candles. This is good structure, higher lows, nothing too euphoric. There's no hype around this yet. And it made a lower low here. Maybe a lot of people sold here, right? And then maybe hype started coming in because this is a pretty big, significant move. If we go back to, let's just see a 2-day candle here. Yeah, you could see a lot of impulsive moves started happening very quickly. So this is the range. This was from November until January. So that's, is that only 2 months? Yeah, so that's a lot of projects you see popping up. Like I said, whether you're on Solana or Pulse Chain, it's like the first couple months, you feel like you've missed out. Because you're like, oh, I didn't buy that first week, or like all my friends sniped it, or blah, blah, blah. But look, you're still early if you understand people are ignoring the project right now, right? People are not paying attention. They're looking at other things that are hyped up right now. So that's when you know, you have to know, hey, I'm still early here. This is still a good entry for me, right? And you just buy and you have to hold. That's a smart thing he did. Okay, he understood that. Now, what he did wrong is what a lot of people that are still impulsive and emotional do, which is he dumped the whole bag. Now, maybe he lost belief in the project, or maybe he heard some FUD, and you guys know that's happening all the time. It doesn't matter if what chain you're into, like Ton Chain, the guy was just arrested, Pulse Chain, Richard Hart's being sued. There's always some FUD. Okay, so sometimes people panic and they'll dump the whole bag really quick. Either that, or they just really lose interest in the project. They just think, you know what, I think this sucks. Okay, fair enough. But short of those two things, of you buying into the FUD or just not liking the projects, you should not dump your whole bag, especially when you know you're only a few months in and people are not paying attention to the project yet. If your project has been through a hype cycle already, okay, fine, I understand. But if it hasn't even gone to a hype cycle yet and it's still just loading, so to speak, then take some profits. Maybe this guy at 30 cents, when it got up here to 90 cents, that's a 3X, okay? Maybe he could have sold, let's say he just wanted to be conservative. He could have sold half his bag. He could have sold half that bag. He would have made all his money back and then some, and still gone on to make $35 million, okay? You don't need the 70 million, trust me. Trust me, $3 million will change your life. This guy would have had 35 million, and that's if he sold half the bag, okay? And that's some pretty heavy profit taking. I like to deploy things like, maybe 5%, maybe 10% when it hits certain markers, maybe 20% if it moves very impulsively. I might just pull 20% out, you know what I mean? Some people say to take half on a double, get all your original money back. Any of these strategies are perfect, and any of these would have saved his butt. Let's say it went up to 90 cents and he sold, let's say he sold 75% of his bag. Okay, that's a lot. And he just said, you know what, I'm just leaving this tiny little bit in there to let it ride. His 100,000 would have been 300,000. He would have sold 230,000, and maybe he left 70,000 in. Is that being really rough? He would have sold 3/4 of his bag. Okay, he made a lot of money, and he's letting he still would have ended up making $18 million. $18 million, and that's if he sold 75% of his bag taking profits just in this area here. So have a strategy of something for taking profits. Even if you're a little scared, take half, take 75%. But you can see from this example that even leaving that little bit in there that he made would have made him extraordinarily wealthy. Even if he took 90% profits, he still would have become a multimillionaire. That's how powerful this is. So taking profits is really key. 10%, 20%, 30%. If you're really concerned, 40, 50, 60, even 70 or 80% is okay. But don't jeet your whole bag. All right, that's what he did wrong. He dumped the whole bag before the hype cycle. And look how powerful the hype cycle was. All right. Look at this, the first move. I mean, that would have been life-changing wealth right there. Let's go from here. Let's say he bought those lows, which I think was around 30 cents anyway. Guys, that's a 25x, okay? That's 2,500% move just on the first impulse. And then people really noticed Axi Infinity, because I remember around this time, it was like summer, gaming was just becoming hyped in 2021. I didn't get into Axi. I didn't hear about it until it was already like, it must have been 86. I think it was around here that I heard about it, yeah? So I didn't get in, but you still would have made money. But I mean, if you just held from here, dude, your life has changed, right? Like I said, even if you took 90% of your bag in profit down here, even if you did that and left 10% in, you'd become wealthy. So don't cheat your whole bag. That's a really big one. It's incredible. And one interesting thing is a lot of projects are going to do that. I'm going to play this next video for you. It's really cool. This just came out today by this guy, Rod Thompson. It was really cool. When I went to Twitter today and I was making this video, there was just 2 perfect videos for this subject. So check it out.
In the minivan here, talking some crypto stuff again. Hey, so really quick, you guys know I love Hex. You know I love Pulse Chain. You know I love the Richard Hart ecosystem. But I want to talk about something that you always hear. You always hear this. Wouldn't it be great to go back and invest in Apple in the late 70s, early 80s? Wouldn't it be great to invest in Microsoft like in the late 80s? This is that opportunity, okay? I'm not, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to shill this coin on anybody. I want you to do your own research. I want you to dig in. I want you to see what Hex is all about. I want you to see what Pulse Chain's all about. And I'm telling you, you're going to get the same vibe that so many of us in the community already have. Okay, we've pushed through the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that all of these haters were putting out during the 21 cycle. And I'm telling you, man, like, so many multimillionaires are going to be made within the next 12 months. And you could be one of them. Not financial advice.
All right, I don't know this guy, but I'm going to give him a follow. I like what he's thinking. It was the same thing I was thinking today. And so, look, you're buying a layer 1. Now, this is Pulse Chain, okay? Most of you guys are familiar with Pulse Chain. Look what's happening. Is anybody paying attention to Pulse Chain? No. It's just like Axi was here. Nobody was paying attention. Nobody gave a fuck. All right. In that same way, we got a beautiful W pattern forming here, by the way, even if this goes sideways for a little longer. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is going to be very bullish when it does break out. So that tells me when the hype cycle comes in for Pulse Chain, either we beat the SEC or the whole crypto market goes into a bull run or the Fed starts printing, whatever it is that activates this, this is going to go berserk because this is a very bullish start. All right. Doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it's definitely something you're going to see play out right from the start. So you're going to have a strong impulse from the beginning. That is for sure. And more than anything, this could do X's like you wouldn't believe. Now, Axi probably started at like 40 million, something like that. This is 400 million, but you have to understand the amount of liquidity in the market right now and the amount of liquidity that's going to enter. This could easily do 10,000X, all right? That's no cap. because people are underestimating how much money is going to flood into crypto and how much liquidity is actually out there. All right, so this will be somewhere up in this range. All right, somewhere between 10 cents and $1. All right, it's going to be mind blowing. Okay, now I want to show you guys another one, PulseX. All right, let me ask you this. I've been using PulseX a lot. I farm. I also like trading on it. I think it's an awesome DEX. Do you think people are paying attention to PulseX right now? No. It's not in its hype cycle yet. It's just starting. All right. When we do get our first impulsive move, you can take some profits. But like I said, be smart about it. 10, 20, 30%. If you're really scared, 50%. Get your money back. All right. That's fine. But don't eat your bag until this gets its hype cycle, all right? Because you have no idea what it's going to do. Just like nobody knew Axis was going to, maybe they thought this was all there was going to do. Look at this beginning. Wouldn't you think, like, wow, that was a 10X, or it was a 25X, right? It was a 25X. Maybe you would have just been like, I'm happy. And then look what it goes and does, all right? So in that same way, these projects are going to surprise you. They're going to surprise you. Let me show you some old school ones here. This is the new hex on Pulse Chain. All right. Oh, actually, let me show you the old one. That's the best. This one has been around, right? EHEX. This is $1.3 billion market cap. A lot of that's OA. So maybe it's just 100 and something million. And look what this did. Same thing. People very similar to Axi, right? Some people would have been life-changing money already right up here, and then it goes on to do something absolutely absurd. And there are also stories in Hex of people who sold around this area. We don't have time to bring up 100 videos, but there are some sad stories out there. They missed this. This was the hype cycle. And guess what's coming? Another one. All right. This is going to trickle out. You're going to see some activity come in. People probably won't pay attention. They'll say, it's nothing. Just like they did very early on over here. People probably thought, it's nothing, or, hey, that's amazing. I'm really happy with what it did. You'll see some more of that activity come in, and then there'll be a hype cycle. It'll probably be at the same time Pulse and PulseX do a run, and this will go absolutely berserk. All right. And this move here could look like this. Okay. Do you guys understand? And it actually ends up coming, somewhere in this range. Okay. Does that make sense? Just like you see here, it goes berserk. All right. It's going to do it again. And I'm going to show you the ETH chart really quick because I want you guys to really understand this. So now let's just go to Ethereum. I think I have the old one here. Okay, really quick, guys, really quick. Okay, look. This was 2017, 18, okay? See this? Trickled out. A little bit of activity started coming in. People probably thought, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's the dying last breath of this weird layer one competing with Bitcoin, all right? And then what happened? It went ballistic, okay? The high here was $1,400. It hit almost $5,000, okay? What do you see here when I show you this? Same thing. Look at it. It's at 50 cents. It's going to do some moves. People will say the same thing. They probably said here, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. And then it'll go ballistic and it'll do something really crazy. Okay? So you got to hold on. You guys, if you're right now in the crypto market, in anything you're in, you're early. Look at this one. This is just under $100 million market cap. It's a farming token. There's a lot of debate on what it could do, but there's no hype cycle for it yet. It's still in that time when no one knows what it is. Just like Axi was at that time where it was like, I don't know, is this game going to work? Are people going to play it? Is it dumb? Same thing. Are they going to farm this? Are they going to be incentivized to hold this? What's going to happen? It's a similar kind of thinking. The point is, I don't know if this is going to do 100,000x or 1,000x, but trust me when I tell you, it's going to probably shock you how high it goes, just like Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. So don't cheat your bag. Be smart. Hold on. Just like he was telling you the story about Apple, you got to hold. Take profits. That's fine. And if you're scared, like I showed you the example, had that Axi Infinity guy even done 90%, he still would have been a millionaire. Even if he took 90% of his bag in profits, he still would have been a millionaire. All right. So you guys can do this. Just be smart. You can always reach out to me or anybody else and ask some questions or advice. I know this. It's a very supportive community. There's a lot of people out here that want to help, and just, we're happy to chat with you so that you become successful and we can all get together sometime and hang out and tell war stories. Anyway, you guys, thanks for sticking around. If you like this video and you got something out of it, definitely subscribe to the channel. Definitely give it a thumbs up. Share this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.